Hi friends, this is DaintyTank. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to Slay the Princess. Reminder, this is a horror story. It goes into dark places. It's fairly graphic, but it's a lot of fun. And according to this is a love story. Wanted to show you this before we jump back in. So, last we left off, we had 3 endings that we've gone. We did the nope ending, in which we literally saw it, said no, and then left. We had the, let's just do it, swords ending. And then we had rescue the princess ending. So let's go for another, shall we?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Alright. Anything new? Let's play along, okay? Thanks for telling me what to do.
It's all part of the job.
All part of the job.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Proceed. Alright.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing...
Oh. Sorry.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
You're the one who told me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
No. What? No way. Why would you even think that? Yeah, it wasn't a joke.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I love this so much. I'm so enthralled with it.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
That's a good question.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End
this. Well, if she isn't bluffing,
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Okay. Squint at the princess.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Two of you. So the voice of the hero is not us. We are a different entity, effective. And like the voice of the hero just feels like it's part of us. Because the two of you are going to do this forever. Squint harder.
You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever.
Sorry, I didn't mean to knock the
Eventually,
mic.
someone is going to have to blink.
Slay.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
Making sure we stay down.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat, with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
I love this so much. It's so dark.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The tower. Ooh.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
She's gonna kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Yes.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
The broken. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
I don't know, I squinted really hard.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed her. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do Do you think the people there lived happily ever after?
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
I'm sorry to be clicking through. There's a lot of this that's been repeated from the various previous playthroughs, so poke Totoro in the Brightcard area, see the rest of it. I don't want to slow us down having repeat dialogue, so if I see it's a repeat dialogue that we've seen before, I'm going to click through.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Chin up. Alright.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do...
We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Ooh.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Can I do that?
I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world.
Uh-huh.
Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
It's like Eeyore in a voice. Eeyore the voice. Eeyore? Eeyore. Oh, what is it this time?
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Wow.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It's another mirror.
Why do we feel so small?
Why do we feel so small?
We don't feel small. We are small.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
Oh.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like?
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I care about whether I'm being lied to. There's a mirror. I want to look at myself. It doesn't matter if there's a mirror. So the handsome I am is... Ah. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Unseen.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that
Nope.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh my god.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Uh-oh.
Huh. This is actually kind of nice.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
I love it so much. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
God, the voice about the broken is so terrifying.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Huh. Doesn't matter what he says. He's not the one making the decisions.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next.
Uh-oh.
But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
Oh, we are small.
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
I love it so much.
Drop it.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that. And yet you did.
She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Uh-huh. Yes. 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 Everything, yes. Just, it's so dark, and it's so fun, and oh my god, giant woman.
The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
No, I won't tell you. You're supposed to be in the world.
You weak-willed buffoon.
Weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Alterations.
It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned? Just because you're supposed to the world doesn't mean you actually have to. You can be whatever you want to be. I have questions for you before deciding to do anything. Happened to you after I died? Oh my god. Okay.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
Ooh.
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
If you're so powerful, can't you break the chains yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
Ooh.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity.
Oh, I love it so much.
The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Okay. Well, I've got more time.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Oh my god. Okay, yep.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
Yeah, kinda.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
I don't know if I can. I am tiny.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
Uh-oh.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
Oh, she...
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Ah!
Rise, my little bird.
Did she just take the narrator from her head?
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
She possessed it. She possessed it.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade.
All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Well, if I don't believe, what happens then? have to. It's over. I'm sorry.
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart. It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever.
I love this so much. It's so dark.
Please, don't do this.
Break her chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
I am free, and the end is upon us, is what she said. Oh my god, I love this.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
This is so dark. I mean, hold on. I'm gonna move myself. No, me. There. Apologies. Look at that! Look at that! Ah! It's so good. It's so good. What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Everything. Take her hand. Your obedient servant, pledge your loyalty to your better. It's so good. But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared, but this is the end for you. But it's not the end for me. It's gonna be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
It feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. I don't want to look at us.
It's not the end. Whoever's on the other side is going to be nice. I will see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
A mercy.
Approach. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone again. Once again, the mirror always makes them leave. But you need to see what's in it. The decay. You've withered. Oh. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. How can you stand to be a contradiction? Doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always gets hurt. Doesn't that change you? How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one time, it make you worse.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. No, not really. It doesn't seem so distant as soon as I'm near you. I have no opinion one way or another. Yes, you're torturing me and I hate you. I think it has to stop. I like you more, actually. I'm very interested every time I come to see you.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Yeah, she would not. You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm gonna kill you, right? Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
When our work is done. Have you figured out what you'll want when we're finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Aww, that's so thoughtful. How many more vessels do you need?
We will know when we near our destination.
Okay. Well, I think I'm ready.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Oh, it always hurts, that sound of breaking glass. So unfortunately this got long, so I had to cut it. Thank you all for watching, thank you for supporting. This is such a good series, and it looks like it's getting close. So I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.